Hi, good morning, everyone. It's a little about 1:18 in the morning here as we go from Tuesday, election day, into Wednesday morning. Let me give you a quick update here on the voting count in Galveston County. We've been informed that all the voting centers have been counted now, so all the early voting and election day ballots have been counted. What now has run into a problem is there's about 5,500 uh, mail-in ballots that needed to be reconciled and counted. As they were going through that, the scanning machines were kicking those out. And so right now, I just spoke with Dwight Sullivan, the Galveston County clerk, who said there's a delay with scanner. Shouldn't change the results, he said. However, they're working with the vendor to resolve. When I asked him, do you think there's enough of the in the early votes to change any of the results, he said no. And of course, mail-in ballots, that's countywide, 5,500 ballots out there. Those mail-in ballots usually will keep with the percentage. What we do know is we're waiting for the numbers to get posted from election day on here online. But right now, what we do know is this, and this is thanks to our Charlie Segari, who is at the counting center in Galveston right now, and has the paper copies of what's going to be posted online. So at this point, we feel pretty confident in calling that Keith Bell has fended off a recall effort there with 2,380 votes against the recall in 2024. Maybe a little bit closer than Bell wanted there, because when he won election as mayor, he did get 90% of the vote. So he was hoping to see that better turnout, but there was a pretty bitter campaign out there against him. But at this time, pending some shocking results from the mail-in ballots, and we're going to be checking those because that issue is still to be resolved, and I'll talk more about that here in just a little bit. But again, an update, this is the actual numbers. We have them now. This is all the voting centers and all early voting in for Galveston County, and a close race that's been this was the only one that was still left in limbo. But 2,380 votes against the recall 2024 for it. So really, more than 300 vote difference there. And in the city of Marque, there's not going to be enough mail-in ballots to make up that difference there at all. So there's a confidence level there is pretty high that that Keith Bell has fended off the recall effort in Galveston there, and in Marque, I should say. Sorry, late. It's an early morning here for us as we give this to you here. As you can see, we've also called the other elections throughout there. This really was the only one we were kind of waiting on throughout the night. We already know Tommy Cohn's a winner in League City. Also, Tom Cruise a winner on the League City Council position 3 there. And we're going to see Sean Saunders and Larissa Ramirez go into a runoff for the League City Council election there. So that race has been determined. The countywide elections, Mark Henry already running re-election with 65% of the vote. Jack Rhodey winning re-election. Jeff Jones is the new district court judge for the 122nd district, replacing John Ellisor. Then you also have Greg Bonin, who's re-elected state rep for District 24. That's the only state representative seat that it's all encompassing in Galveston County, but Terry Leo Wilson winning also to replace Mays Middleton as state district representative for District 23. Billy Williams, the Justice of the Peace, Precinct 3, the only Democrat coming away with a secure win here tonight. Tommy Cohn's, as I told you again, winning there. So really what we're waiting on is the final numbers. Not going to change the outcomes here from what we're looking at. Not enough, even with 5,000 votes. That's countywide. That means every election. And those mail-in ballots really don't change a whole lot in Galveston County history-wise with that. So those read numbers. We're going to be updating those numbers. What you'll be seeing on your screen here shortly on the individual races we've been following throughout the night is you're going to see the numbers updated that will include everything but the mail-in tallies. As I said, if you're just joining us, Galveston County has 5,500 mail-in ballots to be counted. They're having issues with the scanners there that cause a delay. They're working with the vendor right now. This is according to Dwight Sullivan, the county clerk. His office is in charge of elections here. They are trying to resolve that now on the ballot board, but many of the ballot board members already left. So what it is it's just the scanning issue now, and they'll be working on those. But the other counters have left, so right now it's just those who are working on the mail-in ballots that are left there now. Checking with Charlie Segari, and she has the paper number, so I'm just gonna ask her to send me the Texas City ISD results as well. As I told you, though, we do know these are the numbers without the mail-in ballots, but there's a big separation here between the against and the force on the Lamarque mayoral recall. Keith Bell fending off that. We talked with him earlier tonight, and we didn't. And we both talked that we'd hold off until we knew, more of the deal. And he's since gone to bed. Don't want to wake him up at 1:25 in the morning. Here, those of you who are sitting with that will know that it's been a long night. Harris County, let's go ahead and give you an update on that. Now, Harris County started getting some election day numbers in, and we've been watching the Lena Hidalgo versus Alexander Miller race there. But at this point, there's not a large number of election day votes that have been counted so far between those two. In fact, only 60,000 of the election day votes have been counted. 52,000 of the ballots by mail have been counted. So really what they have right now is 191 of their 782 voting centers in Harris County have reported thus far. So that race is too close to call, as Hidalgo has a thin lead right now over Alexander Miller. Now in the county commissioner precinct 2, where it's Adrian Garcia, the Democrat incumbent versus Jack Mormon. He has up there again for Adrian Garcia, also a thin lead. Let's go ahead and update for those who've been following. Prop A in Texas City ISD passes overwhelmingly. That's been the case all night. We already called that. And Prop B, while it was a little bit closer, about 600 votes separating it, but that's going to be a victory there. So both bond propositions pass in Texas City. So as I said earlier, we're going to have the updates go for a while. We'll be updating those manually, and this will be the last of our live broadcast. Probably do one in the morning too, to give kind of a final wrap. But again, Keith Bell fending off the recall in Lamarque. As I said, there's the mail-in ballots, but not enough to make a difference there. That's according to Galveston County Clerk Dwight Sullivan. And again, if let me go ahead and I'll input these so you can see. There's a separate thing you can do it. On Prop A, I'm going to give you those numbers first. Again, it's for 7,983 against is 4,944, and then Prop B is 6,739 for. Sorry, I'm typing this as I'm telling you this, by the way. And then the against on that bond proposition, a lot closer here. This is the one that's about the stadium. So a lot of times folks are like, hey, we'll do it on schools, but not maybe necessarily stadiums. But it looks like those are the numbers for Prop A in Texas City ISD. This is the $100 million part of the bond. Prop A is 79.83 for, 49.44 against. Prop B 67.39 for, and 61.29 against. But again, the big news coming on the one thing we're looking at for the night out of Galveston County, the Lamarque mayoral recall, and Keith Bell fending off that challenge there. So Charlie Segari is updating the numbers as we have them now, as I read them off to you here. So there'll be individual posts on those. And then tomorrow morning, when we get the final count on the mail-in ballots, all that's going to do is wrap up things throughout the night for the final numbers. But as I said, talking to Dwight Sullivan, the Galveston County clerk, when I asked him directly, would any of the mail-in ballots change any of the results of the elections, and he said no. And that's not unusual at all. So that will be the case there. Again, Harris County will have to update much later. The new election supervisor, Mr. Tatum, had said that he thought they'd have results by 1:30, but that was several hours ago. Now he's anticipating it's going to be like 3:30 before they get Harris County results in. They had even have 50% of the election day ballots in. As I told you, right now only 191 of 782 voting centers in Harris County have reported as well. But as we've been telling you throughout the night as well, county-wide elections undeterred in there. The Republicans make a clean sweep in county-wide elections. The Galveston County Judge Mark Henry victorious, Galveston District Attorney Jack Rody victorious, and Jeff Jones for the 122nd District Court. He will replace John Ellisor in January, winning the election there, and Billy Williams winning re-election, Precinct 3 Justice of the Peace. So that's the Democrats getting one win out of the night there as well. There were some concerns about redistricting affecting that, but it didn't there. Any case, so that's our wrap up for tonight here. You can see those individual posts that we have, obviously, of the main races we've been covering throughout the night. And we'll come back on early Wednesday morning, say around, we'll probably be on about 8 o'clock or so, maybe even earlier, with the finals for you there. I'm TJ Alds, I-45 Now. Thanks to Charlie Segari. He's been manning the ship for us at the Galveston County Voting Center. And also thanks to all of you for watching. I'm TJ Alds, I-45 Now.